this crazy black grand like granite like entrance with golden lettering. So, as some of you may or may not know, I typically go and visit China about twice a year. Really, the reason I go is mainly just to go and have fun, kind of treat it as like a work vacation. I don't really travel too much, and China was the first country I'd been to outside of the United States. So, of course, when I go, I make a point to always visit all of the major cube manufacturers and any of like my friends I've met over in China or any like Team SCS members who happen to be over there, and just kind of try to make it a fun trip, but it never ceases to be just exhausting by the time it's over. It's a lot of fun, but just exhausting. So pretty much people always ask me, what's it like over there? And what's it like seeing the factories? And is it really like how it looks in the pictures? And just kind of wanted to give you guys a little bit of an insight of what it's actually like. So for me, it's typically a 14 to 16 hour plane flight going from Los Angeles airport over to China. Last time I went, it was about 17 hours, I think, because we hit some turbulence and some bad weather or whatever. So it's a very long flight, and it just is, by the time the plane lands, I just go straight shot direct. By the time the plane lands, you are just so ready to stretch your legs and just get out of there, because you start feeling like, I'm not a claustrophobic person, but I just am feeling like I just want to open up the emergency exit on the plane and just get some fresh air, which is just horrible to say, but it just is exhausting. And even though like they have TVs and stuff on the back of the headrest on the plane, it's like, you know, I just fly economy, nothing fancy. So it's like the leg room can be kind of cramped when you're as tall as I am at 6'4". And it's just like your headphones start to hurt your ears, then you switch over to your earbuds, and then you can hear all the cabin noise. So it's a very, very long flight. And to top it off, last time I came back from China, somehow my dad talked me into ordering scallops on the plane. And yeah, I ended up getting profusely ill. Not sure if it's from the scallops, but I'm going to go ahead and blame the airplane scallops for that. So I land in China and typically start off in Hong Kong, just as kind of a more touristy area to kind of look around. It's a lot more like Los Angeles is, so it kind of feels like home in a way. And it's not as like dramatic of a difference as like mainland China is from my home. So I usually hang around in Hong Kong for a day or two, and you know, just kind of go shopping or see the sights and whatever it is. Actually, last time I was there, it was actually in the middle of lots of the protests that were happening in Hong Kong, which is a pretty serious issue. So unfortunately, we couldn't really move out of our hotel room very much. So we ended up just walking to a movie theater that was across the street from the hotel and actually saw the Joker movie, which was kind of weird to say that I'm sitting here like halfway across the world in a movie theater when I should be out doing way more fun stuff. But anyway, I then make my way over to China, and a lot of the cubing factories are in different parts of China. And so I kind of make my way all over parts, and it's very cool going to these cubing factories because it's seeing the manufacturing going from just like plastic to a finished product, and then going to the assembly line and seeing like how they're slid down the assembly line, how they're made in batches. It's a really unique experience that it's like, I don't know, it's about what you would expect, but it's also just on a whole nother level. Like seeing how many cubes are manufactured each and every day is absolutely crazy to me. Fun fact that the MoYu Meilong is at least at the time, it was the first speed cube. It's actually 100% assembled through automation, start to finish. So like no human intervention, aside from I think the box. But the cube itself was completely assembled by a machine, which is crazy to see. I mean, just watching it go through and like the precision and the calibration of the machines is just absolutely wild. It's also crazy how I have to give MoYu credit. I mean, a lot of these factories are nice. Like, I mean, they're all very nice in their different ways, but MoYu is just like a whole nother operation over there where it's like this crazy black grand like granite like entrance with golden lettering and all this crazy stuff. It's overwhelming. I mean, it's like a whole operation over there. QiYi has just moved into, they were working on a new building when I was there last time, and I like their setup as well. It's very nice, very comfortable, and it has a nice like modern vibe to it in their showroom. So I really like it over there too. YuXin is a different vibe in the sense that it's just more like kind of low key, laid back, business, and just kind of like casual. YJ is a fun one because it's like their showroom is probably one of the biggest, closest to MoYu, and they have a bunch of other toys in there that are just not, are more than cubes. So it's like always fun to look around and see what it is that they're manufacturing over there. And then I'm trying to think, of course, GAN. GAN is interesting because their setup is very much like, it's by far the cleanest and most just spotless manufacturing. A lot of it is done almost all by hand. Lots of care and quality controls put into that, which you guys see when you unbox the cubes. It's just a whole nother experience over there. But it's more of a tight ship, so it's not as big of like a mass production operation. A lot less staff, a lot more personal care goes into manufacturing them, which is a lot of the reason why I think too the price is higher. Of course, with the innovation and stuff that they decided to do. So it's always fun like riding the bullet train, and of course trying out the new samples and fun little stories. Last time I was there, we were on our way to GAN, and the highway that we were on to get there was undergoing construction. So the driver they'd sent to pick us up from the airport, we were rolling like 5 deep in this guy's brand new Toyota Camry. And my dad and I are pretty big guys, pretty heavy. And then we had one of our friends with us, and then another person from GAN, and then of course the driver. So, and then his trunk was completely full of all of our luggage, by the way. So we're driving down the road, and it's like there was a big chunk of just concrete missing, to where it was probably a good like 6-inch drop off from like pavement to just dirt. So we go like to-doof and go down, and hitting, we go up, and it was just like your head hits the roof. It was crazy. And so I'm just sitting here like, this guy was talking how proud he was of his brand new Toyota Camry, which just got mauled by this drop off. And just when I thought that we were done, as we're pulling into the GAN factory, I see the speed bump of all speed bumps, which, me being a car guy, tall speed bumps and lowered cars are like my kryptonite. So even though this guy's Camry wasn't lowered, it was riding a little bit lower due to all the weight. So we're approaching this speed bump, and he just takes it dead on. And I'm not exaggerating to you that we scraped from behind the first 2 wheels all the way down the back of the car. I could just hear just as we went over the entire speed bump. And I could just see this poor guy just dying on the inside. And I can't say, he handled it probably better than what I would have. And I don't know, looking back on it sucks, but it was, you can laugh about it now. I'm sure that he is too. But it's a crazy experience. And now that the Strike Freedom Gundam has a statue, I think it's in Shanghai, I have to go back as soon as possible to go ahead and check that out, because that's my favorite Gundam. And so, point being that between the amazing food, because I love like seafood, and specifically like seafood in a bag, like crawfish and shrimp, I had an amazing time over there at this. It was the best seafood I've had in my life, and like the by the pound spiced bag. Somewhere in China, I don't even know where I was. They were like, "Oh, you like this food? Here, we'll take you here." And next thing you know, an hour and a half later, we're at this amazing restaurant. And then from the food to the sights, the travel, to like the bullet train, just the way of life over there, it's just very different. How like the McDonald's, for example, their menus are different than what we have over here in the States, and I think in other places of the world. And just the way that they go about their life over there, it's very busy, very bustling. Personal space doesn't really exist over there. You can be in an elevator and you're just crammed in against the wall when there's a good amount of space, because they're very efficient over in China with like space and people, and everything's fast and moving. And it's hard to explain, but definitely if you have an opportunity to go to China, it is a fun experience. Every time I go, I always try to film factory tour videos, and something always goes wrong to make it kind of not really worth releasing. So next time I go, I might drag Carlos with me, and we'll get a whole nice official video going through each and every one of the factories if you guys are interested in that. But overall, it's a really fun experience. I'm really looking forward to going back and visiting all of my friends in China again. So if any of you guys are watching, thank you always for the hospitality that you guys show me. Looking forward to seeing you again. And yeah, that is pretty much what it is like to go to China. And that's like what it's like for one of my trips to go to China and visiting the Cube factories. So definitely a very interesting and fun time.